Have you ever heard of vibe coding? It's this super interesting idea that's not about making your code faster or more efficient. Nope, it's all about making it feel a certain way. So let's dive into this fascinating world where programming is basically art, and even a line of code can have a mood. So, what exactly is it? Well, vibe coding is all about the experience. It flips the script. It moves the focus away from just pure function and puts it on the aesthetic, the feeling, the whole atmosphere that technology can create. It's really just programming with creativity at its absolute core. And how do you actually create a vibe with code? Well, it's done through these core components right here. We're talking about weaving in music and soundscapes, carefully picking out color palettes to make you feel a certain way, using these really slick, fluid animations to guide your eye, and, ultimately trying to get an emotional response from the user. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that fundamental difference. See, in traditional programming, the big question is always, does it work? But with vibe coding, the question becomes, how does it make you feel? It's a total shift toward a full sensory experience. So, where did this whole thing even come from? I mean, it wasn't some overnight trend. Let's take a look at the origin story and see how this focus on form kind of grew out of those early function-first days of the internet. The seeds were really planted way back in the early 2000s. You had people starting to create their own personal websites and blogs. And for the first time, design became just as important as the content itself. Then came platforms like Tumblr and CodePen, which were basically these amazing playgrounds for creative coders to just experiment. And then with GitHub, sharing all these visual and artistic projects got so much easier, which let the whole movement really start to grow. All of that really set the stage for a major turning point. As social media just exploded, so did the potential for expressive coding. It stopped being this little niche hobby. It was actually becoming a genuine art form. And this slide just illustrates that divide perfectly. On one side, you've got traditional coding. It's all about logic, efficiency, getting the job done. But on the other, you have vibe coding, which is driven by aesthetics and emotion. The key thing here is that they're both totally valid. They just serve fundamentally different purposes. One is to build a utility, the other is to create an experience. This new focus led to some incredible creativity. I mean, we started seeing these stunning animated websites that felt almost alive, interactive digital art that you could actually play with, and even projects where the code was completely driven by music. This was way beyond just making tools anymore. And that was the moment coding truly broke out of its box. It got democratized. It became this new kind of paintbrush for digital artists, for writers, for creators of all kinds. It was no longer just the territory of engineers in Silicon Valley. Okay, so let's bring it into the present day, because this isn't just some historical movement. It's happening right now, probably on the very device you're watching this on. Let's take a look at how the vibe is showing up all over your feed. And yup, here are the modern hotspots. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, these platforms are absolutely flooded with vibe coding. You've got creators sharing everything from these super aesthetic desktop setups with custom code to tutorials on how to create that relaxing or futuristic vibe in their own projects. And what's really cool is that getting started is more accessible than it has ever been. The whole process is pretty straightforward. You mix your code with visuals and sound, you decide on a specific vibe you're going for, and then you use all these amazing modern tools to bring it to life. I mean, things like AI assistants and creative editors are making it possible for almost anyone to just jump in and start creating. So, okay, it's cool, it's creative, but why does it actually matter? Let's get to the big takeaway here, because the impact of this movement goes way beyond just some pretty-looking code. First and foremost, vibe coding proves that technology doesn't have to be this cold, sterile thing. It can be emotional, it can be personal, and it can actually connect with us on a human level. It's really about injecting personality back into our digital world. And this one is huge. For so many people, learning to code feels really intimidating, right? Like some brutal logic puzzle. Vibe coding completely reframes that. It turns learning into this joyful, creative process where you can actually express yourself from day one. This quote really does say it all. The movement is actively changing how people see coding and who they think it's for. It's proving to a whole new generation that coding isn't just about solving problems. It can be a real source of inspiration. So the big idea we're landing on is this: expression is the new function. Think about it. In a world that's saturated with apps that all kind of do the same thing,
The ones that are going to stand out are the ones that make us feel something. The vibe itself is becoming the feature.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question for the future. As AI gets better and better at writing all that functional, efficient code for us, is our role as human creators going to shift? Will our main job become defining the art, the feeling, the emotion, the vibe that keeps our technology truly human? Definitely something to think about.